marketing. Today, as usual, we're going to go over a specific topic, something we see out in the marketing world that we could address, give you some examples and some ideas to help you overcome them, and then the Q&A. So we have a few folks in here that are checking things out, your Q&A afterwards. And as always, if you're somebody who wants to get your questions and answers submitted, if you want to be a part of the office hours, go to www.livelocalwarmmarketing.com, become a member, and you get an opportunity to have your issues, hurdles, marketing questions addressed as part of the membership. So, without further ado, one of the things I see pretty frequently is folks just talking in generics. I'm educating, I'm going over the thing that I'm selling, the business that I have, and I'm just talking about anything and everything to try to educate, to try to show people that what I do and that I know what I'm talking about, which is to an extent works, but I see too much of it. What we have to start doing is narrowing down your audience. We have to start making it specific, and we have to make your content stand out. So that way you're finding the exact people you need, not just talking to anybody with a dollar in their pocket who's going to listen to you. Right? So today we're going to go over 3 different strategies, and we're going to come up with some examples to give you as well. So that way it will help you create some content that'll stand out amongst the others. The first one is going to be the anti-avatar. What does that mean? It means you're going to talk about who won't work for you. This assumes that you know who your perfect audience is, and you're going to go against the grain. You're going to speak out about the folks that don't work for your business. And when you speak out against the people that won't work for your business, people start relating. They start standing out. They start, oh, that's me. He's talking about me. But careful that you do it in a positive way. Like if you just say, hey, these people won't work for me because they're jerks, yeah, it's not a good look for your business. If you talk about, for example, somebody who won't work for your business because they're just looking for the quick out or they're looking for the hacks, and that's not what your business does. Your business creates a sustainable long-term solution to problems. Then you're framing it in a positive way that people can relate to it. Like, oh, I'm somebody who wants the long-term solution. I'm somebody who wants the long haul. I'm somebody who doesn't really need that quick fix. And they start relating with you better. And so you're also weeding out the people that you don't want to talk to, right? You're doing it kind of naturally, but not in an egotistical way and not in a negative way. You're framing it in a way that your business is positive. You're framing it in a way that you do good deeds, that you're a positive influence. And so you're being negative, but doing it in a positive way, right? So when we talk about some of the solutions, do the 3 to 5 characteristics, the not for you post. These are the 3 to 5 people that I cannot help, and I can't help them because they're looking for the quick fix, like I said, or they're looking for something that I don't provide because I'm in it for the long haul. I'm quality. I give to the community. I'm a positive impact. And these 3 to 5 people, types of people, don't name people out, but these type of people are not for me. And you can break those into 3 to 5 different videos, just say, hey, here's another thing that I don't do, that I can't do, and frame it in a positive way. Another idea for that same concept is the value stake. So you talk about it in a way of the values that you have that make it so you can't serve certain people. You can't serve certain areas. Because I believe in community, I can't help so-and-so. Not specific names again, but you're doing it very generically. Because I want to make a positive impact in the community, I can't help folks that are just looking to rip other people off, right? This is the values that I have, and so the people that don't hold my values will not align with me. Still, this is again the anti-avatar phase, the concept. And then the third example of something you could do is the price versus the effort. I can't give you the quick fix because I sit down for an hour and I look over your goals and what your family's trying to do. I can't do the quick fix because I sit down and I research before we come up with solutions together, right? The value that you're adding, the time you're putting into it, the price that you have to charge, all of those things come into the anti-avatar. And you're framing it in a positive way, but again, it's anti, it's a negative. These are the things that I can't do. And you're weeding out the people that, luckily, that won't align with your business. And so you're doing two for You're talking about the things that do align that are great for your business, and then you're not having to deal with the people that you don't want to. So it's two birds with one stone. All right, so that's one. One strategy is the anti-avatar, and there you go. The three examples is the not for you, this the values that are at stake, and the price and effort that I put into it. Cool. The second one, the second marketing idea is the origin bridge, the relatability bridge, right? So not a lot of people, some people give the origin story, like I started here and I did this and I did that. Let's look at it in a way that where you started may not have been perfect. Maybe we started with the day zero. I'm staying here and I'm at the bank and they're refusing my loans. And that's the moment I knew that I wanted to work with these companies to help other people that were just like me in this position get loans or to make money or whatever your situation is. But the day zero, the moment you realized that your business was the right business for you, it's a different take on the origin story that we all hear from every single person. And you're kind of spinning it a little bit because you want people to relate to you, right? Giving you the origin story, not many people can relate. Some can, but I mean, most of the time it's your specific story, and most people can't feel it. Don't relate to what happened to you when you grew up and all that stuff. But if you have a day zero, this is how I'm feeling. This is the hurdle I was overcoming. You stay generic and you try to attract people that can relate and understand your day zero, the pain and suffering that you are in that particular day, that you realized that this is the business for you, and then you talk about the business and how it grew from there, solving people's problems. Okay. Another one is the myth versus fact, the I used to think post. And that's another good one. I used to think that this and this and this was true. But in reality, once I started my business, now I know X, Y, and Z is true, right? So you're bringing out the things that people think they understand about your business and what you do for a living and what your company does or what you specifically do. And then you give the facts. The I used to think. I used to think that this is the way everybody had to do it. I often do this in the Live Local, where I say I used to think that everybody had to start with cold marketing. And that's the fallacy that we were told. You have to go in and buy leads and you have to build up a base, and none of that is true. And so I do that very frequently in my marketing and the podcasts that I'm on, that I talk to hosts with. I do that very, very frequently. I used to think stuff. A third one under this category of the origin bridge is a shared enemy. And you got to be careful with this one. Be sure you're not naming specific people. But like the example I gave in the first one, the big banks, and I couldn't get my loan. There's a shared enemy that most people can relate with. You got to be very careful with the shared enemy one. It's got to be something that most people can understand, that can relate with. It's got to be majority of people shared enemy, because you want to be careful not to offend people or go in a direction that nobody agrees with you. But if I'm sitting down and I'm getting the client for a loan, and now I'm a lender and I help little people build their credit up or do things, that shared enemy is the big bank that let the people down, that we're only looking for specific things, but as a lender can help them do this, or whatever your business is. So the three that we just went over, the origin bridge, the relatability, is the day zero story. This is how I started. The I used to think, and then the shared enemy. And those are three different posting topics or ideas or concepts you can also use that aren't going to be the generic that I keep seeing with other people just educating and sitting down and talking about your product. And the third one, this one I loved. It took me a long time when I was creating this review here today to think about, because I had the two right away. It's this third one that I spent a little more time and started thinking about it more. And I started thinking about some of the things that we post and that we do and some of the marketing we help others create that makes it a little more unique. And this one might take a little tiny bit more courage, but this one's going to help your business quite a bit. And that's the level 2 filter. This is the sophistication. It's most people get out there and they do their talking and they explain their stuff and they explain it, dumb it down to a level that anybody and everybody can understand. And that's not always who you want your audience to be. Don't you sometimes want that next level, that more advanced audience, the client that has maybe a little more money, maybe they're farther down the road. They're a little more fun because they're a little more challenging because they have more advanced problems and you can help them with those. If you don't talk to them, they're not going to think that they're right for you, because they're never going to think that you know more than you do, because you're constantly putting out basic elementary style content. So here's some solution ideas. create that content, or at least once in a while. Usually when I make my content, I plan my days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are different learning styles. And so Monday is usually the data driven minds. And so that's when I'll often level it up and put like some advanced stuff or more advanced things in my posts or my content. Skip the intro. Choose a day where the data minded people are getting their posts, and skip the introduction. Don't dumb it down. Use the big words, use the jargon, tackle a big problem, you know, attract that level two person with something that the common person may not know, understand, or it's going to go way over their head. Feel comfortable doing that from time to time. So that way the person that you really, really want to work with and have fun with, their ears will perk up and they'll say, I didn't know he knew that. That's pretty good. I didn't know he knew that complicated problem or that he dealt with those types of issues. That's pretty neat. I didn't know that. And then it gets him thinking like, all right, well, if he knows that, what else does he know? And it might lead to a call. It might lead to a conversation. Because if you show your expertise, you're going from that level one to level two, maybe even level three type of client. And you're going to enjoy that. I'm not saying every single post or content should be that, but you really need to start mixing it in once or twice a week. Okay. Another one could be the insider hook, where you're clearly using the jargon. A deep dive. Use the jargon. Use the terminology that only really experienced people know, right? So that way, the common person listens to that particular post and is like, I don't know what he's talking about. But you're really not reaching them anyway, and you're not doing it all the time. You're just doing it from time to time. But take a deeper dive. Use the jargon. Use the terminology. Show your knowledge. Show off once in a while. Like, I know my stuff. This is some good. I mean, I know XYZ about, the lending industry. I know XYZ about the solar panels. I know XYZ. Don't keep it super basic. Sometimes talk about megawatts on your solar panels and how it helps your kilowatts and all that stuff. Take a deep dive once in a while. You know, you want those level two people. They're going to be they're going to be a lot of fun and keep you juvenated in your marketing and in your business, because they're going to challenge you from time to time, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And the third case for the sophistication for that level two is take some case studies. Grab a situation where somebody who was really deep in it reached out and you were able to help them. And you really want to get some of those audience members, again, that are level twos. You're like, man, he helped that guy do that thing or that person do that thing. Man, I did not know they did that. And then give the example, walk you through it. This is the problem they had. It was a very complicated problem. We broke it down. We did this. We created the solution for them. And now they're out there doing their thing and we helped them. Case study it up. Give some examples of stuff you've done. Or if you don't have any of those types of clients yet, grab a case study from something that happened, a news article or something online, and say, here's the problem. This is how I would have broken this down and come up with a solution, right? Put yourself in the area of being the expert. And like I said, you don't got to do it all the time. You just got to do it once in a while to make sure you're attracting a variety of audience members. So again, before we go over the review, those are the three things. So let's stop with the generic education. My product can help all people. Let's stop with that. Let's get super specific. Let's start getting granular and start getting very specific audience members. And the first one, again, was the anti-avatar. And again, we went over 3 examples of things you can do under that anti-avatar style. The origin bridge, and again, it's not your origin story. It's totally different. So we did 3 examples and 3 ideas for you to market under the origin bridge, the relatability. And then we wrapped it up with the level 2 filter, getting that next level type of client into your database. All right, so those are the 3. And we gave examples, and we showed you some types of content you can do. Now, let's take a quick audit. All right, let's take a quick and think about the answers. If you're driving or you're working out or whatever it is you're doing, let's take a look at these 3 questions, right? First one, who are you currently tolerating in your business that actually drains your energy? I think once we make the pivot of this content and stop making it so evergreen that anybody can handle it, you can start getting rid of some of those folks that don't really fit your niche and you're just doing it for the paycheck. You want to get down and get granular. And the content we just talked about, the types of things where we're talking about the anti-avatar, will start weaning those people out of your business and giving you the energy you need again to run it and land the clients that you need. The second question I'm going to ask you is, what is one industry standard that you don't agree with? Again, something like that will separate you because you're talking about an important issue, something that's happening in the industry, and you're like, this is why I don't agree with it. I'm going to go against the grain. It'll make you stand out a little bit. And make sure you actually believe it too. So be sure you actually believe it. All right. So getting against the grain. So those are the two reflection questions so far. Here we go. Last one. If you could only work with 5 people this year, how would your marketing language change to find only those 5 kinds of people? So there you go. There's reflection questions. Who are you currently tolerating? What is the industry standard you don't agree with? And then 5 people you would love to work with. So here we go. We're trying to shift your mindset. We don't want to put out the same old generic content teaching people about your product. Everybody has those things. Your product is likely not so unique that no one knows what it is or how it works. Let's start shifting your mind and start weeding out the people that don't really help you grow your business. All right, let's make your content unique, and there's lots of opportunities. I gave you 9 examples right there. And as always, if you have any questions, you can email me, livelocalmd@gmail.com. Visit the website. That's where you'll find the courses, the books, the membership, all of the goodies. And now, without further ado, let's move into our questions. I see like 5 or 6 already piling up there. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found this information helpful. Each week, I'll pick a different topic I see happening out in the world of marketing and go over it with you to help you become a better, warm marketer. Now, you noticed in this episode, we cut off the Q&A portion of it because that's for members only. To become a member, go to livelocalwarmmarketing.com. You can sign up for that first month using the code ALWAYSWINNING for $2. And then every Tuesday, you can bring your own personal marketing questions that we can answer and work on together. You'll also get access to the resource library. It has plenty of videos about more marketing tips, strategies, things to help you become a better marketer as well. We have monthly workshops. And of course, we have the weekly content calendar that's uploaded every Monday that takes one more thing off your plate because it gives you a theme and goes over the types of content you could be posting throughout the week. All of that for $2 in the first month. LiveLocal, warmmarketing.com. Become a member today.